Welcome, future teachers. In our previous discussion, we explored the physical and motor development of infants and toddlers. Today, we will continue this journey by focusing on the physical development of preschoolers. Understanding the key changes that occur during this stage is crucial for us as educators to better cater to the needs of young learners. Let's dive into the various aspects of preschoolers' physical growth and development. As children move from toddlerhood into the preschool years, significant physical changes take place. These developments impact not only their appearance but also their physical capabilities. By understanding these transformations, we can create appropriate learning environments that nurture their growth. At around 3 years of age, you'll notice that preschoolers begin to shed their remaining baby-like features. Their bodies become more slender, and their trunks, arms, and legs elongate. By this age, their primary or milk teeth are already in place, and permanent teeth begin developing, preparing for the transition around age 6. An example you might see in the classroom is when children smile, their full set of milk teeth is visible. As future teachers, be mindful of children's dental health, as this plays a part in their overall well-being. Large muscle coordination and fine motor skills. As preschoolers grow, their large muscles become more coordinated, allowing them to engage in more complex motor activities. By the end of the preschool years, children can hold pencils correctly, draw pictures, write letters, and perform tasks like cutting paper with scissors. For example, many preschoolers love art activities. You may notice that by age 5, they can comfortably manipulate scissors to cut out shapes or use stringing beads to improve their fine motor skills. Self-help tasks like buttoning their shirts or putting on shoes independently are also part of this development. Handedness development. By around age 4, handedness is typically established. Before this, children often use both hands interchangeably. Some children develop ambidexterity, meaning they can use both hands equally well. As a teacher, observe students who may switch hands during activities like writing or throwing a ball. Knowing their dominant hand can help you design activities that cater to their individual motor development. Gross and fine motor development. In the following slides, we will break down the differences between gross motor skills and fine motor skills, two key areas of development for preschoolers. Gross motor development. Gross motor development involves the use of large muscles in the body, helping children gain skills in activities like running, walking, catching and throwing balls, hopping, skipping, and jumping. For example, during outdoor play, you may notice that some children are great at skipping or hopping from one place to another. These activities help enhance their coordination and balance, which are crucial for future physical development. Fine motor development, on the other hand, focuses on smaller muscle groups, such as those in the hands and fingers. These skills allow preschoolers to engage in activities like writing, drawing, holding utensils, picking up objects, and tying shoelaces. In a classroom setting, you might introduce activities like drawing with crayons or picking up small objects with tweezers, which help refine these fine motor skills. Another fascinating area of physical development is how children express themselves artistically. Preschoolers progress through various stages of drawing as described by Victor Lowenfeld. Let's explore these stages and see how children's artwork evolves during the preschool years. First is the scribbling stage. At the scribbling stage, which is typical for toddlers and early preschoolers, children's drawings are random marks on paper. These marks may not represent anything specific but show early hand-eye coordination and motor control. Second stage is pre-schematic stage. In the pre-schematic stage, which often occurs between ages 3 to 7, children's drawings become more representative. You'll start to see basic figures and objects, though the proportions may be inconsistent. For instance, a child may draw a large head with small limbs. Schematic stage. During the schematic stage, around ages 5 to 9, drawings become more detailed and structured. Children start to develop a schema for how they depict people and objects, often repeating familiar patterns. Frequently asked questions. Let's address some common questions that often arise when discussing preschoolers' physical development. What factors affect physical development in preschoolers? Answer: nutrition, sleep, and medical conditions play a significant role in their development. How can we encourage artistic expression in preschoolers? Answer: provide children with materials, time, opportunity, and support to freely express themselves through art. Physical developments of middle/late childhood. In the next section, we will transition from preschoolers to children in middle and late childhood. This is another critical phase where physical changes become more apparent and complex. As children progress into middle childhood, there are noticeable changes in their height, weight, bone structure, and motor skills. These changes affect how they engage in activities, how they interact with peers, and how they develop physically over time. We will explore these areas further in the upcoming slides. One of the most obvious physical changes during this stage is growth in height and weight. Children typically grow about 2 inches per year during this phase. This steady increase in height allows them to engage in a wider range of activities with more control and precision. In terms of weight changes, weight gain during this period averages around 6.5 pounds per year. You'll notice that children's bodies start to slim down compared to their earlier years, as their legs become longer and better proportioned relative to their bodies. In the classroom, you might observe that children become more confident in physical activities because their bodies are more balanced and proportionate, allowing them to move with greater coordination. These changes in height and weight can be attributed to several factors, including genes. Inherited traits play a major role in how children grow. Food. A balanced diet supports proper growth. Climate can affect metabolism and physical activity. Exercise. Physical activity enhances growth and muscle development. Medical conditions. Illnesses or medical issues can hinder physical development. As future teachers, understanding these influences will help you identify when a child may need additional support. Another noticeable physical change is regarding bones and muscles. Middle childhood is a critical period for bone growth. Children's bones grow longer and become broader. This is the peak time for bone production, so promoting healthy dietary and exercise habits is crucial. For example, encourage children to eat foods rich in calcium and engage in weight-bearing activities such as jumping or running to promote bone strength. Coordination improves significantly during this stage, both in gross motor skills, which involve large muscles, and fine motor skills, which require smaller, more precise movements. Eye-hand coordination and balance improve, making physical activities more enjoyable and manageable for children. As teachers, you might observe that students become better at playing sports like basketball or performing more controlled tasks like writing neatly. At this age, children love to move. They enjoy running, skipping, jumping, and even tumbling. Their gross motor development allows them to engage in more complex physical activities, such as catching a ball with one hand or tying their shoelaces. This is why it's important to incorporate physical activities into your classroom schedule to give children a healthy outlet for their energy. Children also experience growth in fine motor skills during this stage. Tasks that involve one or both hands, such as writing, drawing, or buttoning a shirt, become easier and more controlled. However, they are still developing and need further refinement. In the classroom, activities that involve handwriting or art projects will help strengthen these fine motor skills. On this next slide, I'd like to discuss also that there are several specific skills that make up motor development. These include coordination. It refers to how well different parts of the body work together to perform a specific movement. This skill is essential in tasks that require the synchronization of multiple body parts, such as catching a ball or playing a musical instrument. For instance, when a child plays catch, they need to coordinate their eyes to track the ball, their arms to extend at the right time, and their hands to close around the ball. As future teachers, understanding coordination helps us recognize how children develop these skills over time and plan activities to support this growth. For example, think about when a student plays soccer. Kicking a moving ball while running requires precise coordination between their legs, eyes, and feet. Activities like these can help improve students' coordination and should be encouraged. Balance. This is the capacity of an individual to maintain equilibrium while either stationary or in motion. As I mentioned, balance is the ability to stay upright or maintain control of body movement. There are two types of balance. First is static balance. This is the ability to hold a position without moving, like standing on one foot. And the second one is dynamic balance. This is the ability to stay balanced while moving, such as riding a bicycle. Balance is a fundamental skill for many physical activities and helps children build confidence in movement. Speed, this is the ability to move from one point to another in the shortest possible time. It plays a crucial role in many activities, especially sports and physical education. Developing speed allows children to react quickly in competitive situations and improves their overall fitness. Agility is all about how quickly and easily someone can change their body's direction. This skill is important in activities where children need to dodge or weave through obstacles, such as playing tag. Agility combines coordination and speed, and it helps improve a child's ability to react quickly to changing environments. Power refers to the ability to generate force quickly. It combines both strength and speed. In activities that require a strong burst of energy, such as jumping or sprinting, power is the key. Developing power helps children perform better in sports and enhances their overall muscle function. For example, think of activities like jumping over hurdles or throwing a ball as far as possible. These exercises demonstrate power. As future teachers, we can introduce jumping or throwing activities to our students to help them develop their power. It's important to allow them to explore their strength while still focusing on proper form to prevent injuries. These skills are the foundation for many physical activities children engage in during middle and late childhood. Here are some common questions regarding children's physical development. What if a child doesn't want to participate in physical activities like their peers? Answer: encourage the child by starting with activities that they can perform well and enjoy. It's also important to consider the child's physical limitations or needs. As future teachers, how should we plan classroom activities considering the physical development of primary schoolers? Answer: it's essential to alternate between strenuous and relaxing activities. For instance, after a physically demanding task, you can introduce a quiet activity like reading to prevent fatigue and keep children engaged. Next, we will discuss the physical developments that occur during adolescence. This is a period of significant transition, not just physically but cognitively and emotionally as well. As mentioned here on our slide, adolescence is a period of transition in terms of physical, cognitive, and socio-emotional changes. And the period of adolescence begins with the biological changes in puberty. Adolescence begins with puberty, which is marked by rapid physical changes. For example, in girls, the growth spurt typically begins at age 10, peaks at 11 and a half, and tapers off by age 13. Boys, on the other hand, experience their growth spurt later, beginning at around age 12 and peaking at age 14. These changes lead to the development of secondary sexual characteristics, such as wider hips in girls and broader shoulders in boys. Understanding these physical transformations is crucial as these changes also impact their self-image and behavior. During adolescence, both boys and girls reach sexual maturity, marked by two significant events. Spermarch, the first ejaculation of semen in boys. Menarche, the onset of menstruation in girls. These milestones signify that adolescents are physically capable of reproduction, which also brings about various emotional and social changes. There's also a phenomenon called the secular trend, which refers to how children today are maturing physically faster than in previous generations. This is largely due to improvements in nutrition and healthcare, which have accelerated the onset of puberty compared to centuries past. All of these physical changes have significant implications for the teaching and learning process. As adolescents go through these rapid changes, they may struggle with self-image, mood swings, or social pressure. As teachers, it's important to be sensitive to these challenges and create a supportive environment that helps them navigate this critical period. Thank you for joining today's discussion on physical development. As educators, understanding these changes will allow you to better meet the needs of your students at every stage of their growth. Remember, our role is not only to teach academic content but also to support the holistic development of the child. I hope this session has provided you with valuable insights that will enhance your future teaching practice.